Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Nate's Pink Bookshelf. My name is Nate Denise, for those of you who are new to the channel or who just happened to stumble across this video. And today's video, as the title says, is my December TBR. Now, in all honesty, I was not going to do a December TBR because I really just didn't know what I wanted to read. And I really wanted to focus on doing a bunch of rereads because there's a lot of books that I wanted to reread. But I think January, I'm going to save that for like my reread month because I think I'm going to go on hiatus for my other YouTube channels. So I think January would be my reread month. But I found two new sort of TBR games that I wanted to play because the creators created like printables for you to play along with them, and so I said why not. So outside of that TBR, I do have 3 books here that did not fit on any of the prompts for those games, so I'm just gonna run through those with you guys real quick. The first one is Serpent Rising by Victor. This author, I don't want to butcher it, but I do have to read this for a blog tour for December 17th, so I definitely wanted to throw this on my TBR list. And this is sort of suspense mystery supernatural novel. It follows a woman named Serena Mendez, right? Serena Mendez, yeah, and she's haunted and hunted at the same time. So she's dealing with PTSD, she's dealing with some nightmares. She's 21 years old, she's pill popping, she's unemployed. She goes back to the Navajo reservation to meet with her aunt to return to the cave where I guess her trauma really began. And in that, she comes across this ancient conflict between the Illuminati and the Lumerian sect, which has origins that are connected to Atlantis. And there are some dark secrets. There is some conspiracies. It sounds epic. It looks like a short read. It's not long. I think it's about 300 pages. Yep, 297 pages, so I definitely can fly through this. I've seen mixed reviews about it. Some people love it, some people hate it, so I'm excited to see what my thoughts are. I do have a signed copy from the author as a thank you for joining, so I think that is epic. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into this book. The next 2 books are books I've been reading for forever, and see what had happened was with this book I'm gonna show you now. I started in October and then I didn't finish it, and then I said I was gonna finish it in November, but November I just didn't touch the book at all, so I'm gonna finish it in December. And that book is Legacy of Ash by Matthew Ward. I am now 556 pages in, so I have about 200 pages left to go. And it's sitting at a 4-star for me. I'm enjoying the book a lot. I love the military aspect. I'm loving Abigail, as I hate Abigail at the same time as I love her because she's very conniving. I'm enjoying Jocelyn. I'm enjoying Victor. Colin is interesting. I started off hating her. I'm not hating her too much, but I still don't like her. And Anastasia, I think that's how you say her name, is Anastasia or Anastasia, don't know, but I'm enjoying it so far, so I definitely need to like finish this, and I definitely will finish it in the next like 2 days. So we have this, and then the last one before we start talking about the TBR games is The Way of Kings by Sanderson. Okay, so see, the problem here is I started this in September and I read like maybe like 6 pages, and then I put it down, and then I got back to it in October, and I got 405 pages in October, and then November I said I was going to finish it. I did not touch this book in November because I'm thoroughly enjoying it and didn't want to rush through it. So I'm going to pick it back up in December and finish it so that I can continue on, because I do have the next 2 books and I need to get The Rhythm of War, but I don't want to buy that until I get to Oathbringer. So yeah, and I don't think they have the paperback copies yet, and I prefer the paperback copy, but I wouldn't mind buying the hardcover of The Rhythm of War because I have Oathbringer in hardcover. So I have this one in the sequel in paperback, and then I have the other 2, they will be in hardcover, which I don't mind that. I just prefer the paperbacks because they're floppy and they're not as heavy as the hardcovers. But yeah, I'm 405 pages in. I'm annotating, as you can see. I'm thoroughly enjoying Kaladin and Bridgefor and all of the craziness that's ensuing. And I don't remember that guy's name at all. Delinar, Adolin, I think that's how you say his name's, Kaladar, and all of them. I'm enjoying them as well. So I wanted to take my time, but I feel like I need to just get it over with. I don't have that many pages left. Well, I'm not gonna say that. So we got about 700, I believe, pages left to go. So I do want to finish this by the end of next week. So yeah, we have that. Okay, so now let's move on to the TBR game. So the first one that I played is TBRVATAR, which was created by G from Book Roast. Click the eye to go to her video where she talked about it. In her December TBR video, she explained and announced that she had printables, and I immediately was like, you know what, I want to play, because I'm always looking for new games to play to get me inspired to read new books or the books on my shelf. So I printed it out here, laminated it and everything. She normally spends kind of like the wheel thing to get it. I decided that I was gonna go with an 8-sided die for my spins, so I did rolls, and I did use my little shopkin piece as my sort of game piece for this. She also created all of the cards for this game, which is awesome. So there are 78 cards. I printed them all out. I didn't do the back piece. I just didn't care. I just did the front. And yeah, I laminated some. I did not get a chance to laminate the rest because I don't have any more laminating sheets. So what I did was I used the ones that were laminated and I did all of my rows. As far as the die, I did get it from Vector Die. I think this is what it's called, Vector Dice. I found this off of Amazon. I'll leave it linked down below. And it came in a set of 5 colors. So it came in a set of 5 colors, and it has 6 die each. So you have a 20-sided die, 12-sided die, one that's like 10s, 20s, 30s. You have a 6-sided die, an 8-sided die, and I believe the other one is like a 4. Yeah, it's 3 numbers on one side, but it's, I don't know, it's like a 4-sided die, a triangle. It's a triangle dice. I don't know how to explain it. I don't really play Dungeons and Dragons. I just knew I needed it, so I bought this set. It was the cheapest. So yeah, we're gonna go into the rolls. Okay, so my first roll, as you saw, I got an 8, and the card I picked up for that is Ty Lee, which is to read a pink book. If you guys can see, read a pink book. And for that, I have 2 options here. But you just can't pick one, obviously. We gotta pick 2. So the first one is going to be Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. And this for me would be a reread. It is a YA fantasy, Korean inspired. And it follows a girl, I don't know her name. What's her name? Mi Young, I believe her name is Gu Mi Young, and she is a Gumio, which is a 9-tailed fox, and she is normally into taking the souls, I believe it is. She consumes the energy of men, and she's half human, but she prefers to go after like the evil men. And one night she saves this boy, and she also loses her fox speed at the same time, or fox bead. Is it fox bead or fox speed? I don't remember. I think it's a fox bead. And it's just a whole bunch of hot mess that ensues with her mother, and there's this guy that we find out who he is towards the end of the story, which I thought was quite interesting. So yeah, I just need to reread it because I did read it the first time. I did not annotate at all because I listened to the audiobook, and I know that I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 stars or 4.5, but I definitely want to actually physically read it and annotate. So we have this book here, and the romance is pretty cute. It was a cute little romance. So yeah, and I love the cover, and the cover to the sequel is just stunning. So I definitely wanted to reread this before I go and get my hands on the sequel. So we have this as an option for pink book, but I also have another book that I can go with, which is going to be Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This is adult thriller, suspense, mystery. I don't really know what it's classified as, but all that I know is that this lady Jules Larson, she gets a new job as an apartment sitter at the Bartholomew, and some creepy stuff, crazy insane stuff happens at the apartment building with the people in the apartment she's staying in. So I don't really know. I don't want to know much going into his books because I did read Home Before Dark and I absolutely enjoyed that book. I gave it a 4 or 4.5, somewhere along those lines. So I definitely said I wanted to get my hands on all of his books since Book of the Month has them. So this was the second one that I picked up, and I'll also be picking up another one for my December Book of the Month box. But yeah, it has pink on the cover, so we have that. My second roll, I got a 1, and for that I got Badger Mole, which is read a hardcover book. And for that I decided to go with a book that is also another kind of like reread for me. I've read this is YA sci-fi, and it was a really cute book. I think I gave it a 4, 4.5, maybe even 5. I really don't remember. I think it was in my favorites. And it's Alienated by Melissa Landers, and it deals with there are aliens. Let me see. 2 years ago, the aliens made contact, and our Cara Sweeney is going to share a bathroom with one of them. So she's picked as the first ever Lear exchange student. She's hosting the first ever alien exchange student, which is this dude up here, and it's so cute. They have a little romance going on. I love the sci-fi aspects. I love the romance. I love the sort of young adult feel. So I definitely want to reread this because I don't remember if I read the sequel. Can't remember. And if I did read the sequel, I don't remember. So I want to pick it back up. So yeah, we have Alienated. Third row, I got a 7, and the card I picked up was Cactus Juice. Read a book by a new to you author, which is here. And a new to me author is definitely going to be Jordan Ifueko, who wrote Raybearer, and I've been wanting to read this since it came out. I did do dye sprayed edges, which is, it looks gorgeous in person. It's not picking up on camera too well because you're getting that sort of like silvery sheen, but it's more purpley. And I'm excited for this book. I don't remember much about this book, so I'm going to read the inside flap. It says there's a girl named Tarasai. I think that's how you say her name, Tarasai. She was raised in isolation by an absent mother known as the Lady. The Lady sends her in as one of the chosen one, I guess, right? Yeah, she sends her to the capital of the global empire of Aristar. I don't even know how to say the land name, but she's going to compete with other children to be chosen as one of the crown prince's council of 11, and she's supposed to kill the crown prince, but she doesn't want to kill him, and I'm pretty sure there's a romance that ensues, and I heard that it's pretty epic and awesome. So yeah, we have Raybearer. Roll number 4, I got a 6, and 6 put me on this card. This card, it's Serpent's Pass. Word snake in the title or snake on the cover, which isn't hard because Book Snake was like real infamous. Like, who didn't know what a book snake was? So for that, I went with Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashradoust. And for this, I believe this is Persian inspired fantasy that deals with a girl with a poisonous touch. She's a princess. They had her locked up, and she's cursed because of her mother, I believe, and something with demons. And she finds out that there's a demon like locked away in the castle somewhere. She goes to speak to the demon. I think the demon is a female, and they have some type of like romance that ensues. I've heard mixed things about it, a lot of more so good things than bad things, but I'm excited for this. LGBTQIA+ rep in it, and yeah, I love that there are, I believe these are pythons, and I'm just not realizing there are 2 on the cover. So Book Snake. Roll number 5, I got a 6 again, and the way I'm going to be playing it, I don't know if G does it the same way, but if I roll the same number twice back to back, that is considered a double. So because I said 5 rolls, I had a 6th roll. So for this roll, I got June, which is read a book featuring assassins or mercenaries, and I've had plenty of options for this. I definitely could have went with the 3rd book in the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks because I'm loving that. But I didn't want to read the ebook. I want a physical copy of it, and I haven't gotten a physical copy of the 3rd book yet. So I decided to go with a sort of reread to a series that I said I wanted to reread for the longest, and that is going to be Sarah J. Maas's The Assassin Blade. This is the prequel novella to the Throne of Glass series, and I've read the series up to book 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because I did not want to read the 6th book, Tower of Dawn. I don't care about Kale. I didn't care about him at all, so I stopped at that. And in order for me to read the last book, I have to read that. So I decided I wanted to just reread the entire series over. And so we have The Assassin's Blade, which is all about Selena and her being an assassin. There are 5 novellas, I believe, in this book, right? 5 novellas? Yeah, the Assassin and the Pirate Lord, the Assassin and the Healer, the Assassin in the Desert, the Assassin in the Underworld, and the Assassin in the Empire. And if I'm not mistaken, this is all things that take place before the events of Throne of Glass, and they're mentioned in Throne of Glass. Again, I've read the series, so I can definitely read this without spoiling myself. But yeah, I want to reread the series from the prequel all the way to the end. So we have this book. Okay, so I rolled a 2 for my sixth and final one, which put me on respin or re-roll. And when I re-rolled, I got a 6, which put me at the secret tunnel. And then I had to move over one because I have secret tunnel. So I'm a little further on the board, which is great. But the card for that I picked up is Water Bending Scroll. Read a paperback book. And for that, I'm actually going to go with the book club read for the Busy Bee Book Club. And that is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. And I believe this is the first book in the Lycanus trilogy. I don't know anything except that it's an epic fantasy with a large cast of characters and great world building, apparently. And on the front, it says, Love the Wheel of Time. This might become your new favorite series. That's pretty much all I know. I believe there's a journey involved in this, great magic system, and political intrigue, and I'm super excited. I believe this also was self-published first and then picked up by Orbit and republished. The trilogy is finished, so if I do like it, I will pick up the other 2 books in the trilogy. But yeah, this is the Busy Bee Book Club pick for December, so I'm excited for this book here. Okay, so those were my 6 rows for that. And I forgot to mention that at the bottom of each card, there's a symbol that correlates to a genre. And I honestly did not pay any of those any mind for this first round. So for the Ty, which is to read a pink book, it is fire. And fire is supposed to represent mystery thriller. If I wanted to count the Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, that's a thriller, so I definitely could get a bonus for this. For the second row, which was Badger Mole, the prompt for that I believe is Earth, and Earth's genre is contemporary. I didn't have a contemporary, my book was a sci-fi. For the second one, it was empty, so whichever one I wanted to pick. The same for Serpent's Pass, it was empty, so whichever genre. For June, the option was fire, which fire again is going to be that mystery thriller. I'm reading a fantasy, so no. And then for Water Bending Scroll, it is going to be, what is this, water, and water is fantasy. So honestly, I technically have 2 bonuses is what she calls it. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the paper. So if you match a prompt to the genre assigned to the element, you get a respin the next time you play. So I get 2 respins if I read the thriller, which is going to be for Read a Pink Book, which would be Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. And then for the paperback book, it's supposed to be a fantasy, which it is the James Islington book. So I would technically get 2 respins or re-rolls if I completed these. So yeah, that is pretty much it for that. So let's move on to the second game that I played. Okay, so the second game that I played is the Wild TBR that was created by the Wild Sasha. So click the I to go to her video where she talked about it and all the printables. She has different boards for the game, so I printed out 2. I printed out this one here, and then I printed out this more springy one. There is a wintry one that I probably should have gotten. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I just went with these 2. She also has cards that you can print out, so they are pre-made cards. I'm not gonna like take them out, but they have pre-made ones and then ones that are blank that you can fill out for yourself. But for that, I use the same sort of die piece, which is the Shopkin die. The Shopkin piece, excuse me, and then my die are from the same company from the other one. They're just these here that are like mint green and purple. So yeah, let's dive into the rolls. Okay, so my first roll, I got a 3, which landed me on a yellow, and for that card, I picked up female author. So for female author, I'm going to be going with Jordan Ifueko again. Raybearer, obviously, like I said, YA fantasy, Nigerian inspired, and it deals with a young girl who is basically supposed to compete to be one of the counsels to the prince, and she's tasked to kill the prince, but I'm pretty sure romance ensues. So we have this, and again, I did dye sprayed edges. It's not coming up on camera. It looks silver, but the silver is actually blue in person. It is gorgeous. I love it. So yeah, we have this book here. Second roll, I got a 10, which landed me on a red, and the card that I picked up says book written by a PLC author. So for that, I'm gonna go with Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. This is supposed to be a middle grade fantasy that has sort of Harry Potter, Nevermore, Artemis Fowl, and sort of what is the movie? Men in Black vibes, which I'm here for all the way. It's the first in an Own Voices trilogy full of magical world building, witty humor, and genuinely surprising twists and turns. And it addresses important themes of racism, classism, and prejudice. And it's going to be a major motion picture soon from Universal Pictures that is going to have Marcia Martin from Blackish starring and producing it. So I'm excited. Jessica Townsend from the Nevermore series did blurb it. She says that it's sharp, funny, brightly imaginative, big adventure filled with magic and heart. So yeah, this book comes out January 2021. So I'm excited, and I'm glad that I did win this in the Goodreads giveaway. So we have this middle grade novel here. My third roll, I got a 5, which landed me on an orange, and the card said hardcover book. So for that, I have two options. I have Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, which is sort of a thriller mystery adult novel, and I also have Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, which is Korean inspired fantasy all about a Gumio, which is a nine-tailed fox. So yeah, this is a reread, and this is a new to me sort of book, I guess you would say. I did read Home Before Dark, which I did enjoy, so either one of these will work for the hardcover pick. My fourth roll, I got a 5, which put me on red, and for that, the card says paranormal. So for paranormal, I'm actually going to go with Gena Showalter. I love her paranormal romances. I haven't read them in a long time, but I decided to go with Shadow in the Ice, which is the first book in the Gods of War. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or a series. I do own the first 2 books, so I wanted to go with this. I believe this deals with Vikings, gods, romance, drama. That's all I need to know. And the cover's nice. I love the foiling on the cover. I don't know if it's going to pick up right, but yeah. Cute little mass market paperback. We're going to go with it. Then for my 5th roll, which should have been my last one, but apparently 5, you know, I get doubles. So I got a 10, but I got a double 5. So obviously I have a 6 roll. But I landed on a yellow, which gave me LGBTQIA plus rep. And for that, I'm going to go with The Space Between Worlds by, I think it's Micaiah. Please be Micaiah. I'm probably saying it wrong, and if I'm not, thank God. But if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Micaiah Johnson. This is adult sci-fi, which deals with sort of world hopping in a sense. The main character, Kara, I believe her name is Kara. Yeah, Kara. So basically she is dead in like 372 worlds total, so she can go to the different worlds and explore them because the version of herself in those worlds are dead, and there's a conspiracy behind it. There's also a romance between her and her handler, who is a female. So I've heard many epic things about this. I can't wait to dive into it. It looked like a short read, so I'm here for it. Okay, and then my 6th and final roll, I got a 9, and for that I landed on an orange, and I got A to Z generator. So I did go on to a random generator here, and as you can see, the letter that popped up was G, which wasn't hard at all. So I went with one that was already on my TBR, and that's Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashradoust. And again, this is YA fantasy, Persian inspired, that deals with the girl with the poisonous touch. Demons are involved. She is, I believe, going to have a romance with the female demon character in this novel. So yeah, that's it for my final row. Okay, so that puts me at 13 books, or physical books, for my TBR. I actually probably have about 6 more books that I'm going to be reading as well for December, but they're going to be like Christian related books. I haven't really picked those books out yet. So yeah, we have about 20 books on my TBR, which I definitely can do 20 books in a month. That's not a problem for me. So yeah, I'm excited with my TBR. Let me know if you guys read any of these books. Let me know your thoughts on these books, if you guys will be reading these books and what you're going to be reading for the month of December. And I think that's it for this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.